woke up this morning, the sky was gray. Another storm, another endless day.
So until John shows up, what I'm doing is finishing the one we decided to use. We got kicked out because it was not a class. We need to make series, seriously. So this is basically, we take the title and the information from that and we put it in one. And we find out that with Tropperator, we got a lot more chapter. We may have the explanation right here because of the way I do my outline. I got more scenes developed by just using the Sudowrite information. So 31, so many we have inside Tropperator. Let's find the end of Tropperator. Where's all the chapter? Chapter.
It didn't do chapters because it didn't have chapters to work with. It had titles. That's another reason why I don't like
I
having
think
a
if we
document that
go
does.
with this, I would say we have about 30. About, not sure exactly. So, because when we go on top here, I got everything in. It's here. So we have 31.
Oh, includes a long book chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know that we want to. I feel like experimenting with that first book as a book
Mm-hmm.
and see what it does.
We should do that after we finish this and make it as a different workflow.
Then I think
You're
what we
excited about that.
well, I'm kind of, but I'm also like I'm looking at it going right now that right now it's just a weird thing because I got 6 chapters that are in that first chapter, and then everything else is its own single chapter, and so.
Do you want me to just collapse the 2 first chapter into one like the rest of them?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so let's do that. At least like this. I guess I can collapse even more.
Yeah.
Until it says something about this chapter, the chapter ends. So this is the end of, okay, hold on. I'm getting a bit mixed up here.
Yeah, that's my concern with trying to fix this is.
So chapter end with Zoe. Sorry, that was fine. Chapter end with Zoe, that one here. So that's chapter 1. Chapter 2 start at dawn break. copy flag. Break. How far does it go? All the way to as the way can really do. There we go. We're there. Or just want me to go get the original before we did the expansion.
Well, no, it's not that. I'm thinking that we might want to
To
try
work
to.
on that, so yeah.
I know we did the Tropperator work on that, so
All right,
I
so
would
we'll be
I
the
would leave it. We could try to use this and see what it does. You need to give it the extra instructions.
Oops. Scene, brainstorm, down, project, rewrite outline, run to operator, create story Bible, style, export, that one?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Copy that, stick it in, and then you have to change the genre there. You pull that out and put the one that's in the genre box in. Yeah. And I think that's it. We named everything SB, SG, and TR. You might want to capitalize the TR card
okay.
just to be sure. Okay. And then I would just run this in Sonnet 3.7.
That one or excellent?
Sonnet 3.7 to get longer. What's the question here though? We don't have POV characters listed. It may all be on her. I don't know. We'll just do it automatic.
What do you want me to do?
It's just run it in Claude 2.7, I think is what would do.
That's going to be a lot of editing video.
Yeah. And there's a lot of this now.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm glad it says
here.
chapter 1.
Yeah, there.
Yeah. I feel like it jumps right in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad for a startup.
So I'm not sure what we do now until 100,000 words in, or maybe this will make it to. This will probably be over 50,000 if you let it go.
Yeah, so that's going to be, because I already got, let's see if I can switch screen here, share. So I got, this is there. So this is my workflow that I did the video on.
Nice.
So an hour and 8 minutes, and it's not finished because the end, that part to get the whole thing to work and finish, finish. So I have to just patch it up to it.
Okay.
So this one there, and this one is the one we did. I did with your workflow. So I believe it's an hour and 27 minutes. So did I finish? You did look at it at a fast pace.
I did. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. And when you said to fix things, I like edits to make to this stuff. I did edit the document, but then I went and added more stuff, which is confusing. But I think there's people can see and use whatever they want in it. Yeah, it looks like you did get to the end, or enough of an end.
Okay, so we have 3,000 words, so we have to go and ask for 3.
Yeah.
Continue writing.
See, that's good to show that.
Normally after 3 and 4, he does keep on going. Do not know why. He stopped at 1 and 2, and sometimes 3. So let's keep it writing. I will pause the video. Okay,
Showed up with a smile.
I haven't finished that, so I have to finish that one. Which story is that one? I don't remember which story it is.
Oh my goodness. I don't remember either at all.
The Bloody Moon Lagos. Okay. Oh,
Babel
that's
site.
that Babel site. Okay. So I would have to go and check if that one is finished because I think it's one of the one. Okay, that's too bad I cannot get out of this. So for the persona, the people who says the persona, I will see if I can put something in the video to explain because we show the persona in the smut.
Yes, but it would be kind of interesting for people to see how you make a persona and how you made all the different persona.
I'm pretty sure
I would try. I would try to avoid mentioning actual authors' names, but if you, I know you do, and I know that that's something that people do want. So, but you can make it just on its own as a recording about how to make a. Here's how to develop some of the persona.
Yeah. So I think I do have persona 11 in this story is actually I show how I do it use for each of those persona to get more information. And then here it's a persona of the first author, which is based on Stephen King. We have the one based on R.L. Stine. So instead of putting their name, you just put their information underneath here inside Sudowrite under what you're looking for in the style, but not this one here. The style I'm talking about is the one in the world building. So in the world building, we have our persona. So here I have persona 1, which is the one based on James Graves. So that one is a bit shorter. It was one of the first one I did. And then the second one is about, I have to go and use. Once that's done, then you can actually get the persona that you're looking for. So until this is written and I choose the story I want, I think it's over here that actually show how I made persona 11. So they will have in one of the videos going to be there, and it's basically instead of being based on the best author, I give the story to ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT what's the best persona for that story.
Cool.
And he gave me a totally brand new persona with a different name. It says, huh.
And so you did that with the document that you were importing into Sudowrite? Project
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the large one. It's basically I took the story. I don't remember if it's the story or the full outline,
Or
and
the
I brought it
premise? Yeah.
inside ChatGPT.
Nice. Okay.
And then I asked about the persona. So
That conversation might be nice to share. Do you have that as a chat?
I think it's somewhere as a chat. I would have to go back and figure it out where it is. Search.
And do you think it's just a fresh chat, or do you think it's, I
It's
mean, it
fairly,
maybe influenced by your other, because you did a lot of this, right? You took the style guide and you said, I want to make different persona. And that's how you built all the other ones. But then now, even though you go back, it remembers that that's what you're doing. So I think you may have inspired it with the work that you did
yeah.
before.
So I
So
just need to figure
people
out.
may not be as easy or they may not have as much success if they just are starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So
So basically, I know in my question it says which one of the 10 of my persona will work for that story, and that's where I think it gave me persona 11. So I just need to figure out where it is because I says, oh my God, there, I have a persona by accident, but it worked for that story, and that's the one which is 100,000 and going.
Nice.
So where are we here? 12,000 words, it's still going. How many chapter we have? That's what I do is normally I just pause the video and chapter 7. I think we have a few chapter to go. So we might need to cut down a few of that, kind of show all my ChatGPT and not everything is about Sudowrite.
Well, yeah, and that's okay, right?
Mhm.
Though I guess there's this weird thing that makes me want to play around with, can we develop persona in Sudowrite? Like give it an example and I'll brainstorm 10 versions of this.
So we're going to have chapter 8, 14,000. I don't think it's going to hit the 100,000 words, that one.
No, it's not, because we didn't do what you did to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
You have 143 scenes or something.
133.
133 scenes. So yeah, that's a different beast altogether. I still like the idea of what you did, how you got all those
Outline
scenes.
developed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. So I'm interested in terms of, can you then take that and essentially develop a prologue for every chapter afterwards that answers the prior
Mm-hmm.
uh
Before and after.
cliffhanger. Yeah. And then make them like, if it's 10,000 or 17,000 word books, and you have 20 books in a series,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And that
That's
would,
not a bad idea. I mean, small, I know for your middle grade that will work very good. I don't know about young adult. It would be a bit small books, don't you think?
yeah, I know. I don't know. I just, part of me is just, how do we, because like the all the AI, when you're writing a book, has a tendency to go like crazy at the end, like,
That's true.
and in love stories as well. It's like it's the next epilogue. They're married, they have kids, they got, then they're having a another ceremony, or it just keeps upping the stakes to a point where you can't really go anywhere from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's so it would be nice to have structure in a series that is
Makes-
that it's not episodic's not the word, but it would be nice to have it build up in a series the way that a book builds up.
But can you imagine also if you use that in smut, which basically
Yeah.
would have a very intense sexual scene in every book, and if they are small books, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I'd still write longer at those small books. I'd still write the 17,000, not I go back and forth about the 6,000 word books. I like them. We don't get as much money from them unless a lot of people read them.
Mm-hmm.
The longer the books are, the more pages turn.
Do you put them
That's
into paperback too or not?
I don't know. I did for one, but that's like a 200 no, it's a 300 page book, and uh, I was doing it so I could get. There was like a contest or something on Amazon, but you had to have it in an ebook and in print. I didn't think I was going to win any contest. It was just to try to get it to show up in the server more,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe people would pick up. And someone actually bought it. Like I priced it high, like $16 or something. So I got like $5 in royalty for that one sale. I have no idea who bought it.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I should have possibly not.
So we are at, did you see the chapter which we're at?
You're not showing me the screen. I'm looking at your
Oh,
workflow with MSN.
sorry about that.
What is that? Is it?
The screen I was showing you?
Yeah. Is that CapCut? What are we looking at?
Canva.
As Canva doing video.
Yeah.
Didn't think to try that.
Yeah, that's I learned to use it and I really, really like it. Because it gives very, very good output. You can get as high as you want and put things between music, words. So
Well,
it's belonged to my workflow now, so I'm not changing.
yeah, no, I know. That's no problem.
So on chapter 12, we had 25,000 words. They have children here. I whisper horror constricting my throat. Junior League, Atlas says. Now that's the one thing which is interesting with that workflow is we don't know because we have no character.
Oh,
Well, the
yeah.
characters are not in that box, so they are basically.
They are in that box.
Oh yeah, they are.
We imported. So some of the characters get made.
Oh, okay.
I a lot of things I do don't have any character cards. But when I work this way and I import the stuff, I often just let it go with whatever it's there. It's better to read it, but
I mean,
also
the question
the other
often that, sorry,
yeah,
do you have question often that people ask you, did you see that on TV? And he says, I don't listen to TV. I'm listening to my book. I don't have time to listen to TV.
I know there's no time for TV.
There's so much story to read because you know when you have 100,000 words to read and edit, so all you do is write and listen and edit and write, listen, edit, and hopefully one of them is good enough to send to the editor. She really did like the Max story.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
Max story went through, and now she's doing the library shelf. And then I have to finish the story which Max and Emily are actually merging together. I haven't finished that one yet. So that's 3 series right there started. But the 2 are already on Amazon. So Emily is on Amazon and Max are also on Amazon on pre-sale. Hmm. 13. So right here we did have a stop. It didn't finish. So what John do is putting scene under where it's on finish, and then we go up inside this purple box, and we make sure that little tag is on continuous, and we go down and find the chapter 16 or scene 16, and then we click continue. This one did the continue, but it did actually recapture the whole chapter 16. So basically, when editing that book, everything above you
Actually, I remember above it is actually that was chapter 15. Scene 16 is chapter 15. We may need to go back and finish chapter 15 at some point.
yeah, you're right.
I just thought of that.
Mm.
So we may need to tell it to wrap up the chapter
Or get the
or
or
cut.
then just take and ask chapter 16 alone, see what it's going to do.
Mm.
There's many way to do it, but that's right there. It's something that we have to go back. So scene 16, it wasn't supposed to be chapter 16, it was supposed to be chapter 15.
Yep.
So maybe there's not a whole lot to finish either.
That's what I'm thinking.
So something to keep an eye on when it's stopping in mid-sentence like this. We never know what happened when we asked to continue. So on 17, we had 43,000 words.
But it might be good to use something like expand, because expand would look into that first paragraph of chapter 16 and wrap up what was happening in chapter 15. You could just use that as a small expand instruction. Her mother is a cat.
Okay. Did you see the last chapter that showed up?
We're at 19, I think. It's still going.
I hope they're going to fix that JSON error, which was on the big story. Which definitely that book is not a one book. I mean, it's a really big book. It's almost a Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It might stop that one. I don't like it when it stops, like starting a sentence, doesn't finish it, and then it start doing this.
Yeah, you think it's going to start the next chapter or something. It's going to skip over finishing the chapter. And I wonder what it's going to do, because Tropperator is in there saying, hey, you got 10 chapters to do.
Mm-hmm.
7 there. You know, that's why I'm a little confused.
Maybe it's starting to be confused. That's why it's doing that. Nineteen. So we scene and chapter are matching. I'm going to pause the video. It seems that's going to be a long recording. Yep. Okay, now
Okay.
recording.
So right now, what I want you to do is to right now it says chapter 20, the sanctuary, new line, Zoe, new line. I want to get rid of the new lines there.
That one?
Yeah, put everything, it's not, leave after the briefing where it is.
Okay.
Go to the end of the sanctuary and pull Zoe up into there, and then go at the end of Zoe and pull our vehicle crashes up into there. Yeah. One more there, and then like a dash or something to indicate that it's, yeah. And so then in between where it says after the briefing, in square brackets, say wrap up this chapter. And just collect after the briefing and that, and expand. So what it's doing is it's using Muse, and it's going to write, it's going to expand after the briefing, and it's going to wrap up the chapter, and then it's going to write the next paragraph as well. So it knows what it's writing into.
Okay. So expand use Muse.
Yes. Expand uses Muse, and expand does this thing where it will write into the next paragraph. And you ignore the next paragraph. But it read up like 1,000 or 2,000, or I don't know how many words. And it's following the direction wrap up this chapter.
So you think it's going to enter inside chapter 20, basically, or?
What it will do is it'll get to chapter 20 and it will write that entire paragraph.
And that's how you know it's.
And that's how you know it's the end. And you ignore that when you insert it.
Trying to figure out how many words we are in.
If you hover over it, should tell you.
There you go.
There it goes. Do I like that answer that we got? I don't know. It's a lot more than I expected.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have told it to
wrap it up in one little paragraph.
that. I mean, I like this idea of her mother like a dying sphinx. So, there's maybe that's reused over somewhere else, but what I don't like is that it wrote entirely into that thing, whereas I wanted it. I should have given a button of where I kind of wanted it to end, and maybe it would have given me a better connection. Because I kind of like the idea that oh, we gotta get going, and then bang, it's them in the truck banging into so we don't have to go through. You know what I mean? It's like a jump cut more. Like I would something humorous. Like I don't want to go. Like someone saying I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then having it happen.
So anyway, this is one way for people to do that. I'm going to put this so I can catch it later.
Yes.
And then on top of that one here.
and separate your chapter 20 and your Zoe and your hour vehicle. Do you understand why I did that?
Mm-hmm. No,
Okay.
explain it, please.
Because it's going to do that whole chapter, and I want it to know what happens in the chapter, not just chapter 20.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to see that first paragraph of the chapter of them crashing through the perimeter. I guess expand really tries to fit into there, and that's what it did. It wrote right into it.
Yeah.
Whereas what I probably wanted was something more like
Basically,
like
he's doing a bridge here. So we hit the final approach, a long stretch leading up to the mountain face, stud with industrial ruins, and brace ourselves for whatever comes next. Our vehicle crash through rusted perimeter, blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah. Whereas before, I was sort of enjoying the idea that we've got to go,
yeah,
something very short at the end, and then we crash to the perimeter, so we could
yeah.
skip the bridging
We could probably
information.
just ask you wrap up in one paragraph and see what it gave us, if it gave us what you're looking for. So we're supposed to check chapter 15.
Yeah.
So that's many way people can do that. So chapter 15. So we have Zoe on 15, but I think we have two of them, right? No,
Chapter 16 and there above needs to get. We've got to figure out how to wrap up chapter.
this one here.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can wrap up in one paragraph. Want to try
Yep.
that one?
Yeah, try that.
Um,
Wrap is a W, like wrapping paper.
I missed that. So we do the same thing here.
Yeah, I think so. Do we have the problem is, how do we want it to end? Oh, wrap up in one paragraph on a cliffhanger. Wrap up in a cliffhanger in one. Yeah, try that. Two Fs. Yep.
I remove that and just like that.
I think you still want to hook it up so it catches it. I'd remove that. Yeah, do it like that. No, just the cliffhanger part. Yeah, it'll catch the stuff below it. But if it's
But that's because it's on the search. Okay. Expand.
yeah.
Let's see if it's going to listen to the one paragraph thing.
Is it further down?
Yeah, sorry. Well, it's shorter than the other one.
Yeah, I don't know that I cared that it only be one paragraph. I just wanted it to be shorter, and I'm hoping that it actually does a cliffhanger.
The implement makes the blood, cliff outbursts. His lips curl with manufactured sympathy as they step inside the circle, inspecting us like hawk, watching for weakness. Our transformation event, behind him, two officers drag Vera forward by the arm. One has a cut across his cheek. He ignored her entirely, focusing on the atlas and me. You're coming with us, Alice's voice low. The officer produced zip tie. Okay. Then force me down onto my knees. There should be a cliffhanger there. Vera, try. The last thing I see are the containment officer closing on me as darkness collapse inward.
All right.
I wake up to brightness. It's not bad.
I think it's okay. But like you're saying, it often at the ends of these chapters, uh, it does a lot of extra work, and you can look at it and say, actually, you could chop it here, and it's better. And often you get a lot of stuff that feels like it's trying out multiple endings, multiple buttons,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want them all. You want the one that makes the most sense to the story. You want the one that reads better to you, and it doesn't feel like
Yeah. So basically, we have to read all of it, and when it sounds repetitive or problematic. So do you want to run the
yeah,
good?
let's run eval. Setting at 49,000 words.
It's not too bad at all. Oh, but
Whoa, doesn't like it. It doesn't like the ending?
the plot is something missing to it. Oh,
I think it doesn't think it's finished. When I see stuff like this, usually it's because the generation didn't finish. So if Tropperator is like 7 chapters more,
mm-hmm. We have to
it's
bring the
likely
chapter in.
we have to figure out how to bring in the chapters for the next 7 chapters. I think it's what's going on.
Does it say if it's filled is finished on this one?
No, it doesn't say that. I don't think. I didn't ask it. You could ask
Extend
it.
scenes with Zoe. Add transitional scene to smooth the abrupt shift between action sequence. Deepen the character. Enhance the world building. A lot of things to improve dialogue.
Wow.
Polishing the writing. Edit the grammar, syntax, awkward phrasing to improve clarity.
You know what I would do? Try running it again. The other thing I would do is I would probably take this to Opus in Claude
Same.
and ask it what needs doing. Yeah, same thing. Okay.
We have a few green things, but still have a lot of revision to be done apparently.
Yeah, I think it's this mix up between the number of chapters that Tropperator said there needs to be
More.
27 chapters. We started with 24 chapters, it got to 20 chapters. I read the ending of this and said, that's the end. So yeah, I think it's not finished, is what's going on. And usually when I see stuff like this, it's when it's that low, it's usually because it's just not finished enough.
Don't you have a one who ask if it's finished?
Okay, chapter complete might work.
Do you think there's enough words?
Maybe. I have a tendency to leave things pretty wide open.
Should I put down this is the full story, or you think it's going to get it?
Let's see I think it'll get it. Let's see if it crashes.
I make my choice.
Like, what did you choose?
It's a bit higher than the other one, but still. This one is very low, 5, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 8.
We know we can do better. But again, the thing that I sort of love is that you can take these things into Claude.
It's mostly completed in terms of the plot. Satisfying close. The chapter ends on an intense note with Zoe making a significant decision that could steer to narrative forward, reflecting her growth and readiness to confront challenge. However, it does leave unanswered question about the immediate fallout. Overwriting. The chapter does not feel overwritten. It maintains a fast pace, flow, cause and effect, narrative follow the logical progression based on the character motivation, the way evaluation clear. Major objects such as data chip containing information about original virus sample, Dr. Warren device are integral to the plot and motivation character action actively. Profession change. There are no unexpected profession change without explanation. Consistency. There's no inconsistency in the spending of retrieval action that don't make sense within their established location. Evaluation thread, open thread, Dr. Warrant, the Atlas, Zoe, close thread. The immediate escape from Ellis, force field, resolved in the chapter setting up the next phase to their mission toward the sanctuary. Overall, this chapter blends action with essential character development while moving towards the uncertain but clearly significant future. Engaging prose complement the urgent tone as Zoe juggle personal stake against broader conflict, setting up compelling thread for continued explanation in future installment.
So if you have Claude, you might want to just export this and import it into Claude, ask Sonnet or Opus if it thinks it's done, or does it need more chapters? Or
because I don't have Claude, so you would have to.
share doesn't work. You gotta send me a link to the document on Google or something.
We put it inside Discord.
Yep.
So basically that will be so that will be the end of your workflow. No,
What we got to? Yeah, I think so.
after that is how to write the next book.
Oh yeah, that would be the next one, I guess. Would be how to write the next book.
Yeah. So do you want to stop at this and leave it as that? And in future session, we can actually show them how to do the, though I do show it inside the workflow that I did for your workflow in the video, I show how to do the next books. So it's at least it's done.
Yeah, okay. I think it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
More or less this is it. The mistakes that I made was letting it go forward with disruption, differences between the two systems.
But so it's not always perfect. Sometimes the story is not what we're looking for, and it's not always the one that we will publish anyway.
So I can't use the feedback document. I because I would need a in order to actually send it to Claude.
The
I
original,
need the actual words. I can't. You can't copy and paste into feedback documents anymore.
You cannot?
Unless you print them to PDF. It's a
So
pain.
what do you want? You want this exported?
Hmm?
You want the export?
No, you can't copy. Oh, I want a document. Yeah, docx or shared with Gmail or something. Not Gmail, but a Google Doc or
I'll
something.
put it inside here. Put in the can you go get it in here?
Where?
In the go in the bonus.
No.
I'm going to put it in. How do I do that? No, I cannot do that like that. I have to do something else. I have to basically new,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can
Oh,
do it
I cannot
there.
do that either. I have to open file with this type. That's one thing I don't understand, why we cannot open a Word document inside the Word document in here. Any
You
idea
can't?
how?
I have no idea. You pay for it.
You have to basically import.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do. Okay,
Oh, it's easier to do from Drive.
yeah, I'm not in Drive. So what I'm going to do here is just going to get this open with, because I don't have Word.
Ah,
Well, I have it, but I cannot, it's not a paid version.
yeah. I don't have a paid version of Word either.
So you cannot copy and paste when you don't have it. But this I can do.
But that's what I need.
So we have page, which basically it's 101 page, and that I can share. What's the name?
Discord.
It doesn't like it because it's own title. I'm going to have to give it a title. There you go.
Chimera or something.
If it does, let's share properly. Copy. There you go.
Thanks.
So you can play with it now.
Well, I mean, essentially, you can take that into Claude, and you can get Claude. Well, for this stuff, we'll just write for you.
So if
You
you
can
were,
just tell it to rewrite, revise, and rewrite each chapter into its own document.
so what, ChatGPT cannot do that?
Is what I would do. ChatGPT can do it, and it's not bad. I just for kids stories and stuff, I love being able to use Sonnet or Opus. Um, I can only write so much with Opus before I get kicked out for a few hours.
So what would you be asking?
I would ask to come up with a plan for fixing it, or I essentially ask, does it feel like this story is finished? How's it? Give me an evaluation, give me a developmental edit of this, and tell me how to make it better. I want to make money, that kind of thing, and then have it come up with a plan for what needs to change, and then execute the plan essentially. And then maybe if the plan includes tell it to do that and put it in an artifact.
So let's
On a
start by a
safe
first question, then we
assumption.
can ask what we need after. That's one thing I find out with ChatGPT. You ask one
And
question, then
what I
you
like about that is that it just
the final act plan.
yeah.
No, no, not yet. We're very close.
We're not done yet.
And now it says is the story finished? No, no, not yet, but you are very close. So suggestion, type back the poem Zoe is writing earlier, give Vera and Alice a full arc, reveal Alice's motivation more deeply and give Zoe agency to final choice. Don't let her just react, let her decide. So basically finish it as what's her decision, and from there you can go to the next book. So you can ask, you could ask right there how to finish it. So I would ask Can you tell me how
Yes. How do I
you
finish
would
this?
finish this last chapter, or would you add more chapters? Add 3 more chapter and a short epilogue. Which will kind of
That
follow.
sounds good.
Yeah.
That's sort of where we were at. That was sort of where we were at when we started.
Yeah. So I'll share this with you. It doesn't need to show up on the web search, it's just for you to use.
I think I'm gonna have to kill Zoom in order to get my computer back. It
No
just doesn't
problem.
want to
But
do
we could,
anything.
yeah. All right, so you have that, you have that. The video, we stopped the video, right?
Yeah.
No, we're still recording. Okay, so now you know, guys, how to go about when you feel your story is not finished, how to get the information using John plugins, and then from there you can go inside Claude or inside ChatGPT and ask those very simple questions by exporting and importing the Word document inside, and just simple question. You're talking to ChatGPT, don't make it complicated. So on that, I'm going to say good night. And John wants to say good night.
Come take a journey, step inside, where stories bloom and hearts collide. From French cafes to Spanish skies, we write the world, no need to hide. Muse is calling loud and clear, in every voice, in every sphere. With Man and Dahlia by your side, let Sudowrite be your magic guide. No borders, no walls, just rhythm and rhyme, writing in every language, one line at a time. From Berlin dreams to Rome's old stone, with moves in your hands, you're never alone. So dive in deep, let your words be free. This is your global symphony. Custom prompts and secret hacks, we find to muse and never look back. In German journals or tales in French, we spark the fire, no need to quench. Write with flair, with truth, with soul. In every tongue you'll feel whole. Sudowrite's the key, just take the chance and let your voice begin to dance. Oh, dark, no borders, no walls, just rhythm and rhyme, writing in every language, one line at a time. From Tokyo lights to Chile's breeze, we're crafting dreams with creative ease. So dive in deep, let your words be free. This is your global symphony. Écris ton rêve, cuenta tu historia, verschreib mit Herz